Good evening, everybody. Just a quick video on Mama's Creations, a stock which we've been talking about over the past week, a stock which we've been monitoring now for quite some time. We're just going to go through some of the data that we've held over the past couple of months up to this point of releasing its earnings and obviously previous earnings before that, and give you some insight as to what we feel is going to potentially happen with this stock over the coming weeks. Some of the figures we give you hopefully will help you trade stocks a lot better, or maybe give you upper hands on where to enter the stock, where to exit a stock, when you feel a stock is cheap, when you feel a stock is expensive. And then if you're day trading this stock, this information I'm hoping may just help you gain an upper hand in relation to sort of if you know when the stock is going to increase in price. Obviously, there's always going to be dips, or there's always going to be sell-offs and whatnot. But if you know on the specific day when there's more likely a probability of the price going up rather than down, whatever time frame that you're trading on, at least you've got a good idea as to what days that may be in relation to what happened the previous day or the previous week. So without further ado, let's get into it. Okay, so at this present time, Mama's Creations, if you just go to Fingers, bring up the data. Mama's Creations closed at $6.51. Now we've got the data on another screen, which unfortunately I'm not going to reveal this to you guys. It's got a lot of coding on the sheet that we use, which we automatically monitor, sort of like a heat map, similar to what you probably see on Finviz. Let's just have a look at their heat map. So similar to sort of like this heat map you see here, we have it for our specific stocks in our team. So let's just quickly close that. Okay, so some of the data that we've got and we relate to is the return on this stock over the coming weeks. Now, if you're day trading this, obviously you're going to be hitting for like cents here, 10 cents there, 20 cents, 30 cents, whatever it may be. So I'm more than happy for you to watch this video content and hopefully take something away from it. If you don't take anything away from it, but it's of interest to you, maybe you do want to trade stocks for the long term, to invest for bigger gains rather than sort of step in and step out, which is very risky. You've got to be on the ball consistently. A lot of people don't have the time, especially if you're a working mum or a working dad or a young male or female growing up in the world, and you're looking to invest your money for the long term and you're wanting to learn how to trade stocks. This video might just give you the small insight onto how to do it and the best way to do it. So we're going to be discussing Mama's Creations. Stock symbol is MAMA. Now, we were talking about before the return on this stock being 22 to 23%. We feel that the exit price at this moment in time, or the price in which Mama's Creations will hit a lot of resistance, will be roughly around the $8 mark. Now, that's not just because, obviously, in the previous months, there's been a lot of interest around this price. It's because our data tells us that around the $8, the calculations that we use around the $8 is sort of a fair price for this stock. Now, if you think about it now, currently $6.51. Let's just bring up the calculator. $6.51. If we added onto that the 23%, which we still feel this stock has some way to go, $8. Okay, so I'm not going to explain to you how we got to that figure. Just taking into consideration what we're saying, we still feel there's 23% roughly in this stock to $8 before it really sort of hits a point at where there'll be accumulation phase, consolidation of maybe shares to the downside or the upside. Also, we'll say at this moment in time, that is a key price area. If this stock hits $8 and it holds at $8, just keep an eye on it, because there is a very, very high probability that this will have a breakout at this price. Okay, if the shorts know what's coming with this stock and they step aside, they have to rebuy their positions. They have to get out of their positions, which will cause a flurry of volume at that price. That's all I'm going to say. Obviously, it can reverse. We're not perfect. There's no experts in this. Okay, it's a lot of data driven, which we hold, which we calculate, which we work hard to maintain. Some of it I'm obviously revealing in this video, only figures, but just take that into consideration. It could still come down to the $5.50, $6 mark, but all I'll say to you, we will be buying that stock if it comes anywhere near this price. So if you're watching this video and you're short on this stock, pass it to me. Pass it all to me. More than happy to give you $6, $5.50 if you want to. Short all the way down to here. More than happy to pay for it. Enough said about that. At this moment in time, the price to earnings in relation to its industry is 65% higher. So what? So what we're saying is, if we go to Finviz and we filter this by the industry, we want to look at packaged foods. Okay, so Mama's Creations is in the packaged, it's in the consumer defensive sector, but that is huge. So we're going to shorten this down to packaged food, and we're going to look at roughly the average price per earnings for packaged food is 18 to 19 times its earnings. At this present time, our calculations for this stock tells us that the current price is 65% higher than its industry. Why would we be willing to pay 65 times higher than its average industry? Because of the information that we've accumulated over the past couple of months, we still feel that with a 23% return at $6.50, currently 65 times higher than its average PE, and if we look at its forward PE, 25, okay, there's a very good reason as to why we would be happy to pay 65 times its average at the moment. We still feel that this stock has some way to go. It is such a well-run company. Management, from the directors all the way down to its staff, its earnings reports speaks volumes. The company's so well run. Now, in relation to the price to earnings to its lowest price for the year, it's currently 32% above. So what that tells us is it's still cheap. The stock price at this moment in time is still cheap. Okay, if you say it was 50-50, well, then it's fairly priced there or thereabouts. It's it's 50% higher than its low, and it's 50% lower than its high. It's 32% higher than its low price. Okay, if you need more information into what I'm talking about there, by all means drop it in the comments. I will try my best to release a small video to make you understand what we're talking about. But at this present time, price to earnings is 32% higher than its lowest price to earnings for the year. Currently, its current price to sales, which is 1.98, which we've also got it down as 1.98 on our system, is 53% lower than its highest price to sales for the year. Okay, so it's still got quite a way to go in relation to its sales data and price, including its earnings data and price. Okay, current PE at the moment is 69. We've got it down as 72 times its earnings. On Finviz, it's got down 69. We use slightly more data on our system, hence why we are three points out there or thereabouts, but we're not far off in relation to this stock. Institutional ownership is 68%, and institutional transactions is 9%. So us as an institution, we would say it is a good stock to own at this price, and it's still got a good way to go. Over the past 5 years, it's consistently grown by an average of 16% its sales. And if you want to talk about moving averages, it's lower than its 20 MA, lower than its 50 MA, and a hell of a lot lower than its 200 MA. So what that tells me, it's 40% lower than its 200-day moving average. Now, I released a video a couple of months back in relation to the easiest way to trade stocks. And the easiest way to trade a stock is if a stock is trading above its 200 SMA, and it's showing support at 200, then it's in an uptrend. As that stock declines back to the 200 SMA or breaks through the 200 SMA, it's then in a downtrend and it's bearish. It's quite a funny video because it was on Manchester United that I'd done it. I'm not interested in football. I just done it on Manchester United because it was a stock that gained my interest at the time that I was looking at it. So yeah, at the moment it's 40% lower than its 200, which tells us that there's still 40% left in its gains to go anywhere near a rebound from the 200, which the 200 at the moment is priced at ironically $7.50, which is exactly what the price was I said last week. So it rebounded off that area last week. So potentially this week it may go straight back up to $7.50. It may just sit around here for a couple of weeks. But you know, at the end of the day, it's nothing to sniff at. Is it $6.50 you're buying it? You're selling it at $7.50. You buy 100 shares. If you're a small investor, you've just made yourself £100 or $100, sorry, over the coming weeks. Obviously, risk management. We're not going to discuss risk management. You should already. There's plenty of video content out there on risk management, and if there isn't, if you don't know how to risk manage, then by all means have a look for some video content on risk management. I think we did release one on the TikTok account not so long ago on risk management, but the simplest way to utilize it is use percentages. If you're willing to risk 3% of your balance, then realistically you want to be gaining 3 to 1 on that. So you want to be gaining 9% to risk a 3% of your balance. So you know, if this stock was giving you 23% and you're risking 3% of your balance, you're very likely, if I'm being honest, to be stopped out if you're putting your stop losses in. So have a look at some videos on risk management and sort of make your educated guess as to where you want to enter into this stock. But at this present time, that's all information I'm going to give you on Mama's Creations. And if it's been informative and if been any help to you, or if you've got any questions at all about any of the information I've been giving you today, maybe it might have been a question on price to earnings, by all means, drop us a message and we'll do our best. Thanks, guys.